folks. It's the Podsquad with Pat Drake, Colleen Roberts, Wendy Card, and yours truly, George Oliver. Thank you for joining us on Bern Now's podcast for March 25th, 2021. This is episode number 178.
Wow. Woo!
That's a lot of podcasts.
We're connecting you with the people, places, and happenings in New Bern and the surrounding areas. Join in the conversation by commenting on this live stream on Bern Now's Facebook page. We'd like to know what you think. That's how we learn about each other and our community at large.
But today, first of all, we have an intruder. I don't know who this gentleman is on the podcast. The tall guy with
George.
Is he behind me? He's behind me. You seem to be looking at me. What does he look like?
He's got these big eyes, glasses. George Oliver, it's nice to have you back.
It's nice to be back. Thank you.
We have missed you. Before we get started today, I think there's a curveball in our near future. Is that okay with everybody?
Curveball.
Curveball.
Yeah, sure.
By none other than Miss Wendy Card.
I'm nervous. Now I'm all nervous. I don't know if I can do
Why
it.
are you nervous? Don't be nervous.
What were we doing? We're doing, what did I say? What is it called? Name that tune.
Name that tune.
Woo-hoo!
You want to do a little one song. See if you can name it. It's just to get us going as far as put us in a happy place. So
Let's go ahead and guess what it's going to be before she goes. All right.
now Laura's here, so I'm nervous.
What do you think the song will be, Pat? What's your best guess?
Something maybe from the 80s.
From the 80s.
But
I'm still, my hair's still in the 80s.
What do you think, Colleen? Colleen, what genre do you think it is?
What genre? I think it is, gosh, see, I was going to guess something off the wall, like she was going to try and whistle Dixie or something. Because she says she's not good at it. So
I can't whistle. I'm not whistling.
Oh.
Or what at hum, whatever. But I'm thinking she might select something simple. But since she says she can't hum or sing or anything, she might want to pick something easy for us to try and figure out. So I would say Dixie.
Dixie. I'll
How
say
about
I'll say What a Wonderful World, Wendy. I think that would be
Oh,
something.
I wish. Wow, that would be cool.
You have to do it like Louis Armstrong. Do the voice.
Yeah. I got a high squeaky voice, so all right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is for bragging rights. So okay.
Oh.
Na 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 na. And oh, stop
There
that.
are some mad drums in there.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Come on.
I think Pat Drake might know what it is.
Pat, I felt like you knew it. Pat,
He
did you?
does. I was.
I used to be really good at name that tune until the recent genres. I used to play it a lot as a much younger person. And I know it's a hot thing going on in a lot of our restaurants. They're doing a lot of the Name the Tune challenges, not just the normal trivia contests. So,
Oh, really? Huh.
yeah, Blackbeard's, I think, does it. And someone else is doing Name That Tune.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to guess You've Got the Look. You've got the look. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Wendy's got the look.
Is that right? Is that
He's
it?
got the look. Yes.
Oh, very nice.
Don't ask me who sang it, but
Who sang it? Come on, guys. Do you know the song?
Yes.
Duran Duran?
No, it's
Mr. Mid-
like in excess, not in excess.
Maybe.
Somebody that had very blonde, spiky hair.
Billy Joel?
David Bowie.
Billy Idol?
Female? Oh my gosh.
Tiffany Idol? No.
Pat,
Maybe Roxette.
Roxette. Yes.
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Pat gets 2 prizes for today.
prizes.
Woo!
Bragging. 2 braggings.
2 braggings. There you go. You may never invite me again. But I've left my mark.
All
Very
right.
cool.
There was a little joke we had. Pat, actually, Laura called her earlier and said, you have to guess. She's got the look.
What?
You guys were fooled.
Yeah, we're playing with you. It's not April Fool's Day. It's close. So we're a little
What are we going to do next? So next Thursday is April Fool's. Do you have anything?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that.
Oh, wow.
So
I'll say this. I have been asked to go on another podcast on April Fool's Day, and we do have something planned. So got to up your game, Wendy. Got to figure something foolish.
yeah, that was pretty bad. But thanks for playing, Pat.
You're welcome.
So did it even sound like it? It doesn't matter.
It did in the beginning.
Kind of. All right. You ready for the trivia question, you guys?
Sure. What's the question today?
Okay. If you're out there listening and you know the answer, comment on this live stream for a chance to win the prize. And the question is, what path is 1,175 miles and extends from one end of North Carolina to the other end?
By end, you mean like from the coast to the mountains, or like from? Yeah, I guess that's what you mean, right?
It's
Is that-
1,175 miles.
Is that how long?
Millions. You're lawyering me.
But you're saying it goes like from the mountain to the sea, right? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I'm saying what path is 1,175 miles and extends from one end of North Carolina to the other?
I'll say it's a path I've never taken. That doesn't narrow it down. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So,
Wow. So what's going on, George Oliver?
well, what have we been doing? There's a lot happening at New Bern Civic Theater. So I'm on the board over there along with a lot of other really cool people. And we are doing some much needed renovations and repair work. We are replacing the stage, rebuilding it, and digging an orchestra pit underneath it.
wow. That's cool.
It's going to be so cool to be under the stage. And the theater, when it was built, had an orchestra pit under the stage. So we're restoring that back to the way it was. I mean, generally, we're not digging the same footprint or anything, but there'll be room for musicians to go under the stage and a conductor and completely perform under the stage. And that way they can be added to the sound system and mixed in with the voices. So what we have been doing is we've had orchestras off to the side, and it depends on where you're sitting in the theater, whether it sounds balanced or not. And if you're right over there, it's too loud, or if you're over there, you can hear it as well. So this will allow it to be in the mix. We're also renovating the green room behind the stage and doubling the size of that.
Nice.
Very
we're
cool. Yay.
ceiling tiles that are in trouble, and we're replacing some carpet and things. And then as part of a larger plan, there's a lot of work that the theater needs. About 100 years old. New Bern Civic Theater has been in there a little over 50 years. So there's a lot to do, but it's we got a great group of people that are doing it. So our grand reopening of the theater is in May. It is a show called Greater Tuna. It's a comedy. And the theater, you guys know, New Bern Civic Theater, we're going to do things in a responsible way for our patrons and our folks. And so the only thing we've been doing in there has been the improv shows. And we've been, of course, respecting the size limits of the crowds and social distancing and masks and everything, performers wearing masks. So our first show, Greater Tuna, has a cast of 2 people. And so that is so they can practice together. Our 2 performers have been fully vaccinated. So that's the other thing. And they can practice together and they'll be on stage. And then we have other shows planned for later in the year that are going to gradually get larger in size with the cast. Just to, again, just to know where we are in the world today, and making sure that people's safety is paramount. So that's pretty cool. Lots of cool stuff.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great job.
Pretty neat.
And
Great
Cumberland, your Banjoy was
Cumberland Gap. Cumberland Gap.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
a really good one earlier
Thank
this
you
week.
very much. Appreciate that.
How's
We have.
Banjoy going?
Oh, it's good. And with the kids being out, at school, we've started another band. It's called the Bonafides, and that's been a lot of fun. We've been rehearsing at Newbern Civic Theater. It's me, Dare, Nick, and Mason from Strung Together, and then Danny and Sheila Batten, and Doug DeSantis on Mando and fiddle. Tim Webb is one of our improv guys on keyboards, and I think that's everybody. Oh, and Nina Banfield is another singer. So it's really fun. We've just been playing a lot of the same kind of music, and then we're playing like basically anything we like with our instrumentation. So like we did a cover of a ZZ Top song, well, with electric mando and banjo and banjo.
Awesome.
So
That sounds
yeah, lots of fun
Very
stuff.
cool.
Lots of fun stuff.
Yes, cool. Pat Drake, what's going on with you? You've been working in the yard.
Yeah, we've been working in the yard. We have a yard now, for 26 years.
Yay.
As I live in Chicago, I'm
Awesome.
learning about crepe myrtles and do I want to murder them or not murder them and that kind of stuff. We never had to think about that before. Glad it's spring, and discovered we have daffodils popping up and some other things we don't know because we've not lived in this house before. We moved in August. So we're finding out all sorts of things, some not as good as we'd like. I found out about something called mole crickets.
Uh-oh.
Yes,
Oh.
burrow around underneath and each of the roots of the grass and things like that. So things that I've never thought of.
Wow.
Is a mole cricket, is that the same thing as a camel cricket? Like,
Maybe they're bigger than regular crickets and they burrow.
yeah. I saw one of those when I was younger. I thought it was like an alien. It looked so strange. It was kind of big and hunched over, and so weird looking. Yeah.
There's an article on the NC State Cooperative Extension, the Craven County, about mole crickets. I just saw that today. So you got to read the article to find out about mole crickets.
Yeah. We've been reading about them and everything, and we've got them pretty bad. So
Oh no, I'm sorry.
too wet to treat them so far. So maybe next week is what they're hoping to come and be able to treat.
Wow.
Get rid of the little guys.
Wow. Well, good luck with that project.
Yeah.
So I know
Um,
one way you treat moles is you have those. Remember those old traps that have like the spring? I
Yeah.
wonder if they have like tiny traps for mole crickets. Do they make tunnels like moles?
I guess they do, yeah, because you see little piles of dirt up on the ground, and that's how one of the way you have mole crickets.
Gotcha.
we have a lot of moles in our yard. For the first time in over 10 years of living in our house. Now we go on walks and we would, you would see the little burrows or whatever in people's yards. And we thought probably only a matter of time for us, but literally this year, we're like, where did all these moles come from? So.
Oh, that's not good.
I know, pain. Some people get those solar activated things that, when they run, that vibrate the ground or whatever. And
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
so I guess we need to get some of those. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Huh.
so
We have-
things.
Living in our walls that we can't get rid of, and we've had a critter getter who's got. And I guess it's a squirrel. I'm kind of hoping it's a squirrel at this point, but it'll come from one side of the house to the other in the floor or through the walls, and it's just like so unsettling.
Wow.
And that's not like in the middle of the night or anything, is it?
Oh yeah, all the time. I don't know what sets him off, but he'll just, and it's probably not just one. I don't like to think it's one. Probably a lot. So yeah, I know. I don't know.
You just need to name him. And you
I
can-
have a trap if you want to put that in your attic and catch them.
We have the critter getter thinks he knows where it got in. It's like down along the foundation there was an opening there, and he sealed it off, but he had a trap down there, and nothing went in it. He put like peanut butter and all kinds of good stuff. I mean, I must went in it. It's really good, but nothing's been caught, and it just keeps running around. Yeah, it's kind of, and it's upstairs and downstairs. So again, it's probably, but if you know anybody that's good,
no.
the guy that we hired is just scratching his head. So if there's anybody else out there that does this kind of work, let me know. I'd really like to find to just not to kill the thing, but to gently
Right.
Yeah. I
so
have
it
a
can go somewhere- anywhere else.
Yeah.
Rehome it somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
Rehome it.
Yeah.
Rehome it into the Croatan.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be perfect.
And we have breaking news, folks.
We do.
New Bern Now has merged with New Bern Post with Randy Foster, Sarah, let's see, and Randy.
Saw your announcement.
Room. You ready for Randy?
Yes, we're ready for Randy. Bring him in.
Okay. Trying.
Hello.
Hello.
Turning my video. Hello.
There he is.
There we are. Hey, Randy.
You guys are so happy.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the curmudgeonly news guy who brings the mood down in the room.
No, it's great to see you.
It's about-
Better.
I don't think I can't dance, so don't bring me in the beginning of your show ever.
So you guys have exciting news, you and Wendy.
Yeah, we do. So, Wendy and I have been friendly competitors for 3 years as New Bern Post, and Wendy and I have been friendly colleagues as long as I've been in New Bern, which is since 2009. And she started New Bern Now, 2008, I think was?
Well, I started researching and then launched in
Yeah.
2009. So yeah.
And I started New Bern Post in 2017. So going on 4 years. Well, we just thought it just wouldn't make sense for us just to be friendly competitors. We may as well be partners. So we have skill sets that really kind of blend well together. So my title is editor, and Wendy's title is
Producer. Yeah.
And then Laura is involved, as she always has been, and Sarah's involved. So it's a mom and pop and mom organization. And so Wendy, New Bern Now won't change really. It'll have additional content that I'll be providing that would have gone to New Bern Post, will now be going to New Bern Now. And New Bern Post will continue to exist because I've got 3 years of content, 1,200 and some odd articles there, including my father's obituary. So it won't go down anytime soon, and we may figure out some other way to use it as part of what we're doing. But for the meantime, if you want local news and local events and good news and all kinds of other news, New Bern Now is the powerhouse of New Bern.
Yeah, it's not just going to be all happy. It's
Yeah.
be a
Well,
mix of everything,
Yeah.
to keep people informed. So, yeah.
So I'm excited about it. I've been a Wendy Card admirer since I met her.
Randy, I feel the same way about you.
Oh,
Now, we did have a little tussle when you were the editor of the Sun Journal, but
I don't remember that. So let's see. What am I working on? Somebody asked.
what are you working on?
So it's been a kind of a roller coaster the last couple of weeks. As I said, my father's obituary is on New Bern Post. My father passed away on Sunday, and he's 95 years old, Navy veteran, World War II. raised during the Depression. He's a classic American success story. He became an executive in Silicon Valley, so he's an early technology guy, and pretty remarkable man. His obituary is on New Bern Post, if you want to go see it. Well, he kind of fell into a coma about 2 weeks ago, and as typical of my dad, who's a Texan and stubborn as you can imagine, he came out of his coma for one day to tell one more war story to the chaplain who arrived to basically read the last rites. It was just amazing, and I've got a video of it because I was really there for the last rites ceremony. And my father launches into this half-hour story about when he was serving during World War II aboard a LST, which is a landing ship tank, small ship that could drive up on a beach and offload its equipment. He was a radio man. And the story is about an anti-aircraft gun during a kamikaze attack. So there's a little, I don't know if that's in his obituary, but it's a story he's told over and over again over the years, and we all know it by heart. And for him to kind of come out of a coma and suddenly tell that story again, it was just, I'm miraculous. I guess miraculous would be the word. And so that happened last Monday, and really those are his last words. At that point, I thought, okay, he's back. He's not really going, but he did. He declined a little bit throughout the week, and so it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to be there. He passed away in Oregon, but we were able through Zoom to all be there. The grandchildren, some of the great grandchildren, his surviving children, and that may not have been possible without this technology. So from adversity comes some pretty amazing new ways to do things. So I've been kind of focused on that for the last couple of weeks, and so getting back into things. And we run another website called North Carolina Travels, and we're going to be working on a section for Southport, North Carolina. And we're going to go down there and spend a few days and research and stay in a bed and breakfast and write articles about restaurants and stores and just talk about Southport. We already have a section started for New Bern, and I'll be plinking away at that, forever. But right now we're going to be building out Southport and then moving our way up the coast. And then we have a partner in the west part of the state who's going to be doing Asheville and Boone and all those places. So pretty exciting, pretty fun job. When I tell people, what are we going to do? Well, it's a working weekend. We're going to be going to a bed and breakfast. I think we're going to be cruise.
Yeah.
And let's see, we're going to be dining, and Sarah's going to be shopping. So we'll be
You
taking.
deserve it. You deserve it, Randy, man. You've had a rough go, and I'm so glad for both of you. So
yeah, it'll be fun. And we may hire somebody to do the same thing in New Bern, because it's got to be from fresh eyes.
Yeah, that's good.
And so if we find a writer who I like the writer's style, we may just hire that person to redo the New Bern section from fresh eyes. But right now there's quite a bit of content on the New Bern section, and that's what we plan on doing with Southport. And each community add to it.
I'll make you a recommendation on Southport. The prettiest place I've ever played a banjo is in Southport, and it is the American Fish Company is the name of, it's a bar now, but it's right there where the water comes together on the point of North Carolina. And it was an old fish house back a long time ago. And then the property fell off the tax records because it was in such poor shape. And they filmed I Know What You Did Last Summer there when it was in terrible. It was like where the serial killer took his victims, like it was horrible looking. And then a friend of mine bought it and rehabbed it, and it's now back on the tax records, and it's this bar. And Nicholas Sparks filmed a movie there. So if you go from a horror movie to a Nicholas Sparks movie, it's changed a lot. And then they also Hurricane Isaias in August of last year, there was a tornado that came off Bald Head side and picked it up and dropped it. Wow. So they completely rebuilt again, and they had to rebuild from Florence. So it's a real story of resilience there by the people that own it, and it is such a gorgeous spot for sunset. I mean, you've got to go down there and have a beer and just look out at the water all around you. It's so pretty.
I think that's part of our itinerary. Sarah, my wife has been in charge of taking care of all of that and getting everything set up. So we'll be going out on a Friday and staying Friday night and Saturday night and coming back sometime late Sunday.
Great.
So this is kind of the first time we're building one from scratch. A lot of the content we have on the site we got from the previous person who ran the site, a guy named Matt Barrett, who's a world travel writer. So a lot of his previous content has been re-uploaded to the new site, but a lot of it was outdated, so we scraped all that off. So those sections are like stubs, we call them. And Southport has a stub already, so we're going to be rebuilding it from scratch. And so it's kind of a demonstration model about how we're going to proceed and move forward, and then do a hard launch where we start promoting the site sometime later in April, as we feel it's ready for unveiling. But it's a soft launch now. It's on the lawn. It's North Carolina Travels.com. So if you want to go see it. Meanwhile, in New Bern, I've been working on a story all week, what I think is kind of interesting. The New Bern or the Craven County Board of Commissioners is asking the state General Assembly to change how members of the Craven County School Board are elected. Right now, it's a nonpartisan board. And some of the members of the County Board of Commissioners think that it should be a partisan board. So they're asking for a sponsor, at maybe Steve Tyson, maybe Norm Sanderson, Senator Norm Sanderson, or North Carolina State Representative Steve Tyson, to sponsor legislation that would convert the Craven County School Board into a partisan board. So you would run in a primary as a Republican or Democrat or an independent or some other party. And if you get enough votes, then you go to the general election and run against the other primary winners. I believe that there's a mechanism in place where if an independent candidate is able to get enough signatures representing Craven County registered voters, then that person can qualify for the November ballot as well. That's gonna, I don't think there's a sponsor yet, but I've been spending most of the week working on it, trying to get comments from the county commissioners and school board members, along with getting the history together. So I'm shooting to get that story posted and over to you, Wendy, to post on the site before I leave for Southport. If not, I'll be filing it from Southport. I think it's an important story. I haven't been doing a lot of school board coverage. I'm sorry. Yes.
Has the Board of Education always been nonpartisan, or were they partisan in the past?
Well, see, here's the interesting thing is that they used to be partisan, but the Craven County Republican Party requested that it be converted to nonpartisan. So it's and now Republicans in leadership positions in Craven County are asking that it be converted back to partisan. I got a comment from County Commissioner Denny Bucher saying the reason they want to do that is because they weren't happy with how the county Board of Education handled the COVID situation by closing schools and going to virtual for so long, longer than neighboring counties. And there's some other reasons that I'll be included in my story. They also claim that the school board members during their elections don't get enough voters to come out. On the flip side, and I think another rub is that every member of the school board right now is a registered Democrat. Now, they didn't run as Democrats. It's a nonpartisan race, but they just happen to be Democrats. Huh. And it's not very often that a Republican is a member of the board. So kind of my thinking is when they run just on their merits without putting their political party out there, then the Democrats seem to be the ones that are getting elected. So this will be an opportunity for Republicans to have a better chance of being elected to the board. I suppose that's the thinking behind it. The school board, on the other hand, has issued a resolution opposing that measure, saying that they actually get more turnout to school board elections than Craven County commissioners get. Sometimes, well, to the amount of 4,000, 5,000 people show up to vote. I don't have the numbers in front of me, as opposed to some county commissioner races where less than 2,000 show up to vote. And the point that it was turned to a nonpartisan board at the request of the Craven County Republican Party. And it's been that way for some time. So we've become a partisan society. Everything has to be partisan. So I'll be that's my phone, of course, and it won't shut up. There we go.
Randy, who would be responsible for making that decision then?
It would be, let me see if I can. It would be, it would go before the State General Assembly.
Oh, okay. Just
And,
specific Craven County?
yeah, for something like that, it has to be approved through local legislation. Colleen, you know a lot about this kind of thing. There are some things that the local board or the local commission doesn't have the authority to do on their own, and it requires enabling legislation at the state level. So there's local legislation that would be sponsored by a local representative at the state level, and then go before the full House and then the Senate for approval, and then I believe be signed or vetoed by the governor. So there's a long process involved. It's not a done deal by any means. I mean, it's a Republican majority in the House and a Republican majority in the Senate, but it's a Democrat governor. So it's possible that the governor might veto it at that point, and then it would go back to the Senate for a possible override. A long process ahead before something like that would happen, but presumably it would happen before the next school board election. So I'll be working on that story and a lot of other stories. So that's the kind of thing that New Bern Post brings to the mix for New Bern Now. And the thing that New Bern Now brings to the mix is 12, 13 years of goodwill and excellent community news coverage, a very comprehensive community calendar, and more than anything else, Wendy and Laura.
I don't know about that, but
Amazing assets to the community, and I'm just thrilled to be part of their team.
So does that mean you're going to be on the podcast?
Maybe. I'll be on I'm happy to be on it, but I'm not going to dance.
You gonna sing? You could have done a better job. Craig Ramey said, "Hey, she's got the look."
Hey, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. So that wasn't too bad, but George will do it. So
There you go.
yeah.
But you guys,
I'm looking forward to the combination, and especially Randy, your reporting. You know, we have so much going on in our community that all we're getting, is AP stories. Local news is okay, but some of it is, Goldsboro or other areas, and even in print, it's Kinston or Jacksonville and not our community, and things that are going on with our commissioners and the schools and our aldermen. That's, I think, what our community really needs. And I know that, unfortunately, I think our local paper, Sun Journal, is probably going to end up totally digital and no longer in print. I just have a feeling of it, having submitted some things of press releases and such, that they want them to get so many likes and so many views. And if it's not getting that, they're going to drop it and not run it. So your kid graduating high school or making Eagle Scout or, those things won't be available.
Well, they can send them to New Bern Now. We will.
Very much so.
We plan on,
Yeah.
Randy, Sarah had a great idea of creating a daily post that would post in the morning in the know and with the whatever
In the
now, I'm sorry, in the now,
Yeah.
Bern Now. And it has the weather and it has just little tidbits of information, events going on that day. That way, and if you say a baby was born or whatever, who knows, whatever. I mean, it's just space, and we have a team now. Before it was kind of hard, but now that we're teamed up, that's totally, it just opens everything up. So
Can I ask something that you would not, Wendy, but should perhaps? If people want to support New Bern Now, how do they do that? Is it through advertising?
they can advertise, and
Okay.
they can also, if they just want to do a little subscribe and
Okay.
pay, X amount, whatever they feel comfortable, $1, $5, whatever, a month, but Randy's gonna be selling the ad, so you can.
What I'm saying is, like, people love you guys and support what you do because you support and love everybody else. So put a plug out there. Tell people if they want to purchase an ad, how do they contact you, Randy? What do they do?
Wendy, do I have an email address yet?
You will have it by the end of the week. Tomorrow.
So now,
newbernnow.com.
Yeah,
Newbern Now.
info@newbernnow.com.
okay, very good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds. You got the podcast, you got the magazine, which will be going out in print, and we're planning on June, hopefully. And the podcast is the perfect place to, because it goes on the radio, So I mean and then on New Bern Now from in a daily article that goes out, or Randy's the guru for sales. I'm horrible with it, and that's why I really haven't pushed it like in 12 years. So
Well, congratulations on your partnership.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, I for one, I'm excited about it. I think New Bern deserves good news coverage, and I mean that two ways: good news and news coverage that is good. There's a lot that goes on in this community, and New Bern is home to the first newspaper in North Carolina. We need to really continue that tradition, maybe more so than any other community in the state, if no other reason than just tradition. New Bern has been an important part of North Carolina from the start, and it continues to be a vibrant community where the citizens need to know what's going on so that they can engage and be part of how their community is run now and what the community will look like in the future. They can only do that if they know what's going on. So that's the idea of what we're going after. And with New Bern Now, you can find out if there's a play, what the hours are. You can find out where to eat. You can find out what the Board of Aldermen are doing. You can find out all kinds of things from one place. And our focus is local news. You're not going to see filler from Jacksonville or Wilmington, because that's exactly what that kind of coverage is. And as far as TV, same thing. They cover such broad areas that Greenville's great, but I'm not really concerned about what's going on in Greenville or Jacksonville. I want to know what's going on in Craven County, and specifically New Bern. And so that's where my focus is going to be, and that's the kind of content that you're going to see on our site. So it's a great opportunity for us to do a better job of what we've been doing, and it's a great opportunity for the community. Just to back up a little bit, for a lot of people who are watching this probably don't realize this, but I was the editor at the New Bern Sun Journal for about 7 years, up until about 2017. And in the end, I was also the editor of the Havelock News and the Kinston Free Press and Jones Post. My New Bern Magazine and My Lenore Magazine, along with Kinston.com, NewBernSJ.com, and Havelock.com. I think that's what it is. So a lot of things that I kind of know how they operate, and as a longtime journalist, I kind of see what they're going to be doing in the future. And it's all about profit. It's nothing wrong with profit. It's a business. We're a business too, but so it's great if people support us through businesses support us through buying ads on our platforms, or for people who enjoy and appreciate our coverage, who subscribe or contribute. It's wonderful. We applaud it. We encourage it. But that's not the bottom line. The bottom line is that we're citizens of our community and we care what's going on. And we want to share that with our fellow citizens,
Right.
because we think it's important.
Yeah, and we want, like, you all send us information and you call us if something's going on, or you know what I mean? It's a win-win-win for, for everyone. And we're hyper local. It's not like a huge corporation owns us and they own all these papers, and it's just, aggregated information. It's personal, at least that's how I feel. Anyway, I'm getting sentimental, but
And we hope if you have a letter to the editor, you want to comment on something going on, that you submit it to us and we'll run it. Usually within an hour of receipt. If you've got somebody who graduated from UNC and you want to tell the community about it, send it to us and we'll put it in. We'll figure out ways to get your news in the community, from the community into our site, and we'll make it in a way where a large audience will want to see it. So if you want Craven County to know about what's going on in your life, send it to us and we'll help you get that information out. As a news release or a tip or an advertisement or a sponsored article or subscribe. That's what we're here for.
yeah, or be a guest on the show. So
Yeah.
email info@newbernnow.com. So thank you, Randy. It's great.
Yes, thanks for the announcement.
Yeah, and have a wonderful time down in Southport.
Thank you. We'll see you on the way back.
Okay. Have a great day. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. There we go. Okay, sorry guys. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. So I'm really happy. So, and I really appreciate you guys and the listeners, for supporting us and playing along every Thursday. So, and speaking of playing, we have some guesses on the trivia question. And if you haven't heard
Ew.
the trivia question, what path is 1,175 miles and extends from one end of North Carolina to the other?
And at one end, there's mountains. And at the other end, what is the other end? What's at the other end? Pat,
No
what's-
hands,
Yeah, the
no
mountain-
hands, shh, shh, la, 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 no hands. George, you're bad. But
looking at
people have guessed.
looking at the guesses, I think people are onto it, maybe.
Well, maybe they may be right. And if it's multiple winners, we're going to put your name in a hat, and at 7:00 tonight, we're going to announce it on our Facebook page, and we'll be contacting you if you won. And if you're a winner, you'll win a gift certificate to a local restaurant. So,
I like what Marissa said. She said, George can do the dancing and the singing.
yeah.
There you go.
If I were to do the dancing and the singing, would I go from the mountains to where would I go, Wendy? What's on the
Stop it.
Croatan.
I'm gonna hide you.
You're gonna mute me, and suddenly I won't be able
Oh,
to.
that would be easy. Yeah. Oh, Bob. Bob said, George, is the other end.
Mountains to the George. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's a good one, Bob.
Wendy, you muted me. You muted.
Oh my God.
So
Good. Keep guessing if you know the right answer. So
that's right.
That's right. All I'll say about that is Craig Ramey's a smart guy.
yeah, and he's part of the improv walk-in bathtub.
He is. Yes. Yes, he is a founding
do?
member.
And you do small town news podcast.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. That's been a lot of fun. We just did our 100th episode of
Oh
Small.
my goodness.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's come out every Saturday and Wednesday. So
Cool.
yeah.
That's a lot of fun. And also Craig's at the Craven Community College too. So thank
He
you
is.
Craig, for all you do. Yeah.
That's right.
Where can people find that small town news, George?
Oh, everywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon. You just type in Small Town News and it'll pop up and you can subscribe to it and then it'll come in your phone every Wednesday and Saturday. And the Saturdays are usually about an hour and the Wednesday is what we call Porch Chat. And it's only like 5 minutes usually. And it's usually just a kind of side discussion that we thought was fun, related usually to the previous one. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's really silly. We do have a lot of information about the town we're virtually visiting, but everything else is completely made up. So it's not a good source of news like the New Bern Post and New Bern Now.
Yeah.
It's a good source of silly. So yeah.
And I think we all need some sort of silly in our
Yes.
lives. So
So,
and let's go to Colleen. You didn't say how have you been doing? Are you
Yes.
not out enjoying this weather? You're dealing with maintenance issues.
yeah, well, the City Hall courtroom, which is above my office, is under renovation. So we're holding our meetings for the various boards in several different locations. But I thought it might get kind of loud with like the table saws and everything and they're bringing a lot of stuff down the metal stairway, which is also sort of right outside my office. And so I hear that stairwell like vibrating as they're bringing heavy stuff down. We've gotten a lot of comments from people who have said, oh no, the historic courtroom, why would you touch that thing? We're not removing any of the historic appeal of the courtroom. But let's face it, I don't even know how old the carpet is. We need new carpet. If you've come to a meeting, the plaster and the paint had started to bubble from years of storms and rain and hurricanes that have made it in. And when they started working on the courtroom, they discovered a lot of the wood behind the lower paneling is wet and rotten. So we're just fixing it all at one time, new paint, new carpet, fixing those wet areas where we've taken down all the old brass, light fixtures. We're polishing those. Matt Montaigne took an excellent photo of a before and after of one of the light fixtures, and it was so tarnished. So it will look nearly brand new when all that is said and done. And initially we thought it would be around mid-April, but considering all the wet wood up there, it might be a little bit longer. But if you hear, bangs and knocks and things going on, it's the construction right above my head. So don't let anything fall.
All this talk about courtrooms, Colleen's got me. I forgot about another announcement that's really cool for New Bern. So do any of you know Tom Wilson? He's a lawyer at Green and Wilson downstairs. Tom's been in New Bern for 20 years. It was just announced that he will be appointed to Superior Court judge for our district.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
Judge
Wow.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful guy. He's a very smart lawyer. Does a lot of appellate work, and he will be a wonderful judge. So he gets sworn in April 12th, and it's Thomas Wilson. Mary Jo Alcock Wilson is his wife. I don't know if you guys know Mary Jo, but
Yes.
all New Bern family there, and you just couldn't think of a better guy to hold that position. So what a great thing for New Bern and Carteret and Pamlico. Yeah.
Wonderful. Awesome. Congratulations.
A couple other things, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, we do have an Easter egg hunt going on at Lawson Creek Park. There are all different start times for the various egg hunts.
What's the age limit on that, Colleen? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah, so it's like 1 to 12. You would have to get significantly shorter and younger, George. But your parents are allowed to give assistance. So round up, somebody's kid and take them out there. The first hunt starts at 10 a.m. That's for the 1 and 2 year olds. And then the last one starts at 11:30. We were asking folks to pre-register, but now since some of the gathering limits have been increased under the governor's latest executive order, you don't need to pre-register. You can just show up. But Lawson Creek Park is huge, and we hope to, spread out those Easter egg hunts and keep everything very safely and socially distanced. And then
I'm short enough, I could probably pass as a child, and I do have a full adult Easter Bunny outfit. I could
go, Pat.
wander in and nobody would know. They'd just think it was another bunny.
Pat, I'll tell you my Easter Bunny daughter. We'll go together.
We'll hold your hand and walk you in and say, this is my 10-year-old daughter. So that's going on this weekend. There's another one, a twilight Easter egg hunt that's on April Fool's Day. That's no April joke. It really is a twilight Easter egg hunt. That one's at Glen Burnie Park. So if you're interested in that, you can do that one too. And that's ages 11 to 13. So maybe, Pat, you could go to that one too.
There you go.
So a couple of other things. Martin Marietta Park. Foster Hughes and his team are just kicking tail and taking names. There is a playground that will be finished soon. It's not yet, so don't take your kids out there wanting to play on the playground, but it is a playground and restroom facility over by the swim beach area that is going to be completed next. So lots of good things going on at Martin Marietta Park, but Foster did tell me, unfortunately, they have had to ask some families to leave the construction area while they're trying to put together the playground. So I promised him I would tell folks that it's not ready yet. I don't exactly know his timeline, but another exciting piece and amenity to the park that will be ready very soon. And then
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that, especially with the weather getting nicer. It's going to be perfect for families to be able to go out there and have some fun at the park. And then just a heads up. So I think we've talked about actually already the Wall That Heals that is coming to New Bern. I just wanted to let folks know that since that's going to be at Lawson Creek Park and they bring a huge tractor trailer and other vehicles of equipment, that there will be limited parking for boats and trailers in those boat ramp lots. So plan to make other arrangements for, is it April 6th? I think the wall will be here, April 8th through the 11th.
8th through 11th, I think. Yeah.
So, and it will be available for you to come look at the park, the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall. But if you're planning to, go out on your boat or something that day, or maybe even arrive by boat and then walk into the park and see the wall, there's going to be limited parking there for boats and trailers. So plan to make some other arrangements possibly.
Yeah, and who knows with the traffic? I hear there's going to be a lot of people. I hope I'm not going to say it. I hope everyone has a safe and great time doing that. And so I would probably not go around Lawson Creek area to go downtown. I usually go through Walt Bellamy, when I get off the 70s. So thanks for I didn't even think about that. So, but it's going to be a great thing that comes to our town. It's a replica of the actual Wall That Heals, or the Vietnam memorial. So yeah.
And I think on April 6th, there's a big motorcycle and helicopter contingent and everything sort of ushering the wall into New Bern, and then they're going to take a day or so to get it set up. So that will be really neat to see as well. Just please,
Yes.
the direction of law enforcement, either, out on Highway 70 or locally with our New Bern PD. So going to be a busy time in New Bern. And our new police chief, Patrick Gallagher, is now on the job. So looking forward to his leadership and what he brings to the department. Seems like a super nice guy. Got to meet him and his wife, Millicent, the other night at our Board of Aldermen meeting. And one of the first conversations we were eager to have with him is about the United Badges blood drive, which unites police and fire. It's been a battle of the badges in the past. And when COVID came, we were all separated, but we wanted to be together. So we changed it from a battle to a United Badges blood drive. And I'm happy to say his staff had a meeting with him the other day, and he said, not only do I support the United Badges, I hope you'll sign me up for an appointment to give blood. So
cool.
He's a blood donor, and we're just excited to have him, and it's going to be a really cool event. The blood drive will be July 28th, and I'll have more details for you as that gets a little bit closer. But so we are going to be able to resurrect that event.
Wonderful. And I want to give a shout out to the Craven Habitat. The Restore is having an in-store silent auction, and Deidre DeRocha contacted me this morning and said the bids end tomorrow at noon. So if you want to check it out, contact them. That's Craven Habitat for Humanity. And did you know there's going to be the second annual New Bern neighborhood bear hunt? Tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, the 26th through the 28th.
I feel like I've never heard of it.
Did you know there was one last year?
Who?
I don't have any props.
There's one right behind you, Wendy. There's a bear behind you.
Oh, there you go. I can
Yeah.
put that in the window. I had a stuffed bear that I put in the window.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So that's happening the 26th through the 28th. So if your neighborhood wants to do that, it's just a fun thing for kids to look for the bear.
Right. Put it in the window and people walk by and they count them. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, or it could be an ornament, outside or whatever. So that's the 26th to the 28th.
We found one of my husband's relatives' old teddy bears, and I didn't realize it was one of the ones that, you can move its arms and legs. I just thought it permanently was in a seated position. And so we put it on our front porch with one of the paws up, like, my granddaughter got such a kick out of that. And I was like, I didn't even know it moved. That's our bear. So looking forward to that. Craven Works. Rashima Walker's been on here talking about this job and employment resources event at Union Point Park on March 30th. You will have to have your temperature taken when you get there. You can pre-register though, so you can just do the COVID pre-screening and then walk right in if your registration's already been done. But we know people have unfortunately lost jobs during the pandemic, and there is a need for employees and a skilled workforce here in New Bern. So go out to that event. We will have some city folks there for positions that we have open here. And this event's been a tremendous success in the past. So come prepared to do an interview. You just might leave with a job.
There you go. That's great.
Yeah, great job by Rashima and her team at NC Works Craven County. And
Absolutely.
what else? Oh, the New Bern Historical Society, they've extended their application deadline for New Bern High School student scholarships. So for more information, call 638-8558.
And you said this last time, but your community calendar is back, right?
Yes. Yeah. I kind of, in the middle of the merger issue, I'm like, oh, I got to get back on that calendar. So all the dates that I'm aware of are going to be uploaded like by tomorrow. So that kind of fell to the wayside, but there still is a lot of events on the calendar right now. And some of the events are the virtual news run.
Yeah, that's right. It's going on right now, right? Got another few days.
Yes.
The new virtual news bridge run. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. And let's see, Above the Roots presents elevated yoga from 8:30 to 10:30 at Creekside Park. And that's on the 28th.
And then on Saturday, Pembroke is doing a community cleanup. That's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Meet at the community center there. This is presented by Project Restore. So always, hopefully, well, yeah, I looked at the forecast, supposed to be really pretty on Saturday, hopefully no rain for that cleanup. If you'd like to join them, you can go on out to the community center at 10 o'clock in the morning. And don't forget about the farmer's market. And the weather gets nice every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Front Street. All kinds of goodies over there at the farmer's market. And then we've gotten some more, one more guess on our trivia question. Do you want to go over that, Wendy?
Yeah, I think they nailed it. It is, okay, what path is 1,175 miles and extends from one end of North Carolina to the other? Does anyone want to guess?
It is a little misleading, right? Because Mason was telling me he had a history test today, and he was having to list the 5 seas around the Mediterranean, and we don't have seas here, right? We
Right.
haven't. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the sea is, well, it comes in through the Pamlico Sound, but actually it's supposed to extend there that far, isn't it, Colleen? Remember when they added in New Bern? Because it came through New Bern, and I don't know, they're still working on it.
But it doesn't pass a C,
Right.
a C, SEA. Yeah. So it is.
Well, maybe they have plans on doing a little shuttle across the New River over
To the Caspian Sea
right.
to the Atlantic eventually.
or the Dead Sea.
I was getting at. Because they are still doing construction on the, what is it called? The
Mountains to
Comes to
the
the Croatan.
mountains to the Croatan Trail.
The mountains to the sea trail.
Yes.
Clarifying.
Does know anybody that walked the whole thing, or I don't know, maybe biked it? Do you know anybody that's done that?
No, but I know people that have done the Appalachian Trail, and
Right.
that was a friend of mine guessed that when I asked the question. So, which it does, it runs through North Carolina. So,
Yeah. I wonder how long that would take you to go all the way mountains to the sea on like a bike. Be a long trip, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Bo Bissett is, I think he's the first New Bernian that went from New Bern all the way to California by bike. He stayed in different people, they put him up, or he stayed behind fire stations. He did that back, I think for the 300th anniversary. I don't know. I remember following his blog, and boy, I cannot imagine biking across the country. That's crazy.
No. Yeah.
I can't imagine biking to Bridgeton.
Right. I'm with you. It's the Bridgeton to New Bern Trail.
Yeah, there you go.
That was in 2012. Globe trekking.
Yes, globe trekking. There you go. Bo Bissett. Yeah, I wonder what he's doing now. He was a teacher in Thailand at one point. So he's a really unique guy. And yeah, that's Marianne Bissett's son.
Okay. And you cut out for a minute. Either I was frozen or you were all frozen, but what did he do in 2012?
Started his globe trekking from the New Bern area across the US.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, to California. So good for him.
He left Morehead City on April 16th in 2012, headed west. So, and he welcomed suggestions along the way of interesting places that he should stop and visit from readers or people who were following him. So
very cool.
Yeah, and he wrote about all his travels. It was really cool. And people would donate, if he needed like a sandwich or something, or got flat tire. it was cool. He did. It was like the community came together to support his efforts. So
Do you know how long he traveled? How long did he do it?
he was gone for a while. I think it was because something happened with his bike. Was it 2-3 weeks, maybe a month,
Let me see.
or was it longer than that? I knew all that details like 10 years ago, George. My brain is aged.
Wendy, where did the gentleman who owns A Dog's Dream, him and his dog did a trek?
Yeah, Dan Spanky
And Spangler.
and Spanky and his buddy, his war buddy, I can't remember his name. They went, they do it every year. They walk for the the veterans. Come on, I can't remember. I'll bring it up next time on the podcast.
I'll have to
Update
watch.
everyone. There you go. Yeah, and SBS Melissa with SBS Forward. We need to get the Junior League of Greater New Bern on one of these virtual podcasts to speak about the upcoming virtual Kentucky Derby event, April 26th to the 1st. I'd be happy to send. Okay, I have their contact, and I'll be reaching out to Ashley. So thank you, Melissa. Yeah. That's another guest down. Contacting, I mean, it's filling, the calendar's filling up. So if you want to be a guest, reach out, info@newbernnow.
Newbernnow.com.
That's
There
right.
you go. We ready to wrap it up?
Guests don't have to dance.
No.
But it's a bonus if they do.
Yeah.
Well, Wendy just said it, but let us know if you would like to come on the show, or maybe you have a question for us, something you didn't understand. Maybe you have a suggestion for the New Bern Now podcast. You can call Wendy at 252-259-6853, or you can send an email to info@newbernnow.com. Maybe you would like to pledge some support for New Bern Now and the New Bern Post as they join forces. Unfortunately, if George is on the show, we're going to be full of April Fool's jokes next Thursday.
Not jokes, just full of April Fools.
Next Thursday, April 1st from 1 to 2. Yes, we will be here on Zoom Live and also on New Bern Now's Facebook page. And then the video and audio are uploaded to newbernnow.com, iTunes, YouTube, just about anywhere you listen to podcasts. So, and then Wendy mentioned earlier that if you advertise, you also end up on the radio. That's because WNOS, New Bern's news talk radio station, 103.9 FM, airs our show, and we are so thankful to them every Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning and at 5 p.m. at night. So
Yeah. And I just real quick, I just want to say they've been doing that since 2012, because Laura and I used to do little community segments that were like 3 to 5 minute segments and upload it. So that's a community service that they've been doing for our community and just to provide information. So thank you guys at WNOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, George, you going to say it?
Well, folks, that's a wrap.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Yes,
Thanks
thanks for listening. Have a good day.
Have a great day.
Hit it.
Bye.
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 Bye. See you later. Okay, end it. Thanks for listening.